Hello boys and girls. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to set up Feed the Beast on the TekkenNetwork servers. And the first thing we're going to need to do is install Java. Now if you have Java installed, that's great, but make sure you have, if you're on Windows 10, the latest 64-bit version of it. And that is a deep secret. It needs to be Java 64-bit. For some weird reason, Feed the Beast will default to 32-bit if you have it installed. And there is some ways you can go around that. So we're going to download Java, and I just went to their website and downloaded it directly. And I always go to the offline version. You notice I come down here and see all Javas. If you just hit agree and start for free, you will end up getting the 32-bit version. You do not want that for this version of Feed the Beast. There is way too many mods, and the 32-bit version does not have enough memory to be able to run it all. And then while we're downloading that, I'm going to go to www.TekkenNetwork.com. Okay, and then I'm going to go over to the Minecraft. Now this page is going to get updated, and this video is going to get updated. Hopefully that's where you found the video. And I'm going to download the latest client for my server. And as you see, it's downloading Feed the Beast right there. And it has some things right here. Now if you were on Windows 7, for some weird reason, you will need to run either this, try to run this Java if you can. The latest Java does not work so hot under Windows 7. So I put the older versions on the software, and a list of some of the mods that are on there, but not all the mods are, like the core mods and things aren't listed, but the big ones are. Okay, now that I've downloaded Feed the Beast, you can either go to your downloads, or you could save it to your desktop, or however you downloaded it, wherever you put the file. And I'm going to close all this stuff out. And the first thing I'm going to do is install Java 64-bit. This machine is fresh, it's never had it on there. And while we're installing Java, let's talk a little bit more about system requirements. This is pretty healthy. You need at least a quad-core processor, minimum of 8 gigs of memory, and I would recommend a GeForce 550 series or higher, or a Radeon 770. You need to have a fairly heavy video card. The Intel onboard video cards will not run this. I do recommend you have at least 16 gigs of RAM. 8 is minimum, and it will run, but 16 would be better. Okay, now I'm going to run my Feed the Beast installer. And by default, it's putting it in C, Feed the Beast. Now you can put this anywhere you want. In fact, I think I want to put this on my E drive. But remember, if you change this path, we're going to have to change something in Feed the Beast to let it know. So I'm just going to hit extract. And of course, I've installed it on the E drive already. And this is a pretty good size version of Minecraft. As you can see, it's RAR'd at 571 megabytes. That's quite a bit, considering I think the game is only about 50 megabytes to begin with. So I've added a lot of stuff to it. And then if you're interested, the TekkenNetwork also has a free Ventrilo server running. You can go get a copy of Ventrilo 3, and the server naming is TekkenNetwork.com, and it's a public system too, and this Feed the Beast is also public. Now that I've done that, you'll notice that you have a wonderful little icon on your desktop. You can simply click it. Theoretically, it should know exactly where it is. Now, this is the first time I ran it, and it says, where did you put Feed the Beast? And you noticed I put it on my E drive, not the C drive. If you extracted it to the default folder, all you have to do is hit apply. I want it on my E drive, mainly because that's my solid state drive. It's considerably faster. Now that Feed the Beast is open, I'm going to go to options, and 2 gigs of RAM is not enough. I cannot save this in the install for some reason. 5 gigs, 5 1/4 is minimum. The more you give it, the better off you are. Unfortunately, the computer I'm on only has 8 gigs of RAM, so I'm going to go 5 1/4 here. And then if you go to advanced options, you'll see the Java paths and things like that. If you have a 32-bit version Java installed, open this up and select your 64-bit. Otherwise, it will default to 32. Then we're going to create a profile, and you notice my profile's already in there. You can create a profile by just typing in your username and the password for your Minecraft account. And this is not to my servers, this is Minecraft itself. I'm going to go to Feed the Beast mod packs. Now there is 2 Direwolves. My server is based on Direwolf. There is a version 1.12, which mine is not based on. Then there is an older version right here, version 1.10. That is what my server is based on. So I'm going to hit launch. And you'll see the log is going over here, and it should be doing some stuff. And this takes a while. You might want to go get a cup of coffee. And I mean a long while. And while we're at it, while we're waiting, I'll show you what I mean by the memory usage. It is a memory hog. You don't need a stellar quad core or dual core. You could probably get away with a dual core. It'll just take forever to load. You don't need a massive processor, because once it's loaded, it's not that heavy. You do need a fairly decent video card from, say, 4 or 5 years ago, because it is a little video dependent. As you can see, my GPU is sitting, probably... This is actually not a bad video card. My 770 runs at about 30% most of the time. If it pops up saying it needs to hit the internet, yes, allow access. And you can see my memory is just getting gobbled. Now we're at almost 3 gigs of memory usage. So this is a fairly heavy game. This is a new computer that I'm running it on. It's just an AMD Ryzen 3 with a GeForce 570 in it. Nothing super stellar. But it still takes a bit to come up. And if you really dig my server, then by all means, hit that donate button and give me $1. Because I like money. And I will totally use that money to beef up the server. Me and some friends have been testing on this for a long time. But I added some new Feed the Beast utilities, which now allows you to claim land, claim chunks, and that becomes your chunk and nobody can mess with it. Since they did that, I've come to the conclusion that maybe it's time to make this thing go public and let everybody play on this. This is the big one right here. The version of GregTech is not GregTech 6, it is GregTech 5. I'm not a big fan of GregTech 6. I like the 5. It makes things harder, prolongs the game, adds some cool things. And I've done some tweaks to the unification, so that way things get unified better. But if you find bugs, then we'll get them fixed. Just say something. I play this on and off quite a bit. There's a few others of us that play on here that are admins. It's still pretty small bananas, but if it ever gets big, I'll add an email address or maybe something to the website so people can report bugs. As of right now, it's just about 4 or 5 friends playing on it. And we invite you to come play on it with us. I wish I had a way to speed this up so you didn't have to sit here and stare at my Mojang loading for 10 minutes. Big version of Minecraft. Just remember the keys. If you want to play this nice and smooth, 16 gigs of RAM is awfully nice. Halfway decent video card, say, from 4 or 5 years ago. And beyond that, you're pretty much good to go. You need about a gig of space, or a gig and a half of space. Not a whole lot of space. It's amazing. The game's only about a gig and a half at best, but yet it requires about 4 or 5 gigs of memory. See, look, we've been waiting long enough, now I can have some cake. But of course it's still not done loading stuff. I'll probably speed this up a little bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, the next step that it does is the mist craft. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do. It's got to compile mistcraft for all the items. I don't know why, but I cannot save the client with this already done. It has to do it on every single install. Really dumb. Maybe I'll figure it out one day and fix this, and you won't have to do this. Just extract and play. But it's got to do some profiling to make mistcraft work. Mistcraft is cool. I like it. Make yourself a realm, build a base in there. Nobody can ever find you. Or maybe you can go build your base on Mars. Go build it in space. Nobody will ever find you in space. It's big and vast. And it's kind of neat. I got a backup system built into it. Backs up the server every 30 minutes. So worst case scenario, we lose 30 minutes of gameplay. Sucks, but it's better than losing the whole map. Just remember, when you install this, it is Direwolf 1.1, not 1.12. It took me a long time to get all these mods working under Minecraft 1.7.10, I believe I'm on. I really didn't want to go out and do it all over again. So, if everything loaded and you put it in the right place, you should have multiplayer, and magically TekkenNetwork is already programmed into it. And then of course this is local and this is the internet. Well, what's going on here? Oh, it's loading that stupid compiling back to Mistcraft here, so I'm going to save and quit down to go back to title. It does that. I'd say it does it only one time, but it seems like it does it about every 4 or 5 times you load. Like Mistcraft is just checking. So I'm going to join the server. Now if you open up Feed the Beast and you go launch and it has to download the client, then you need to check your settings, because it shouldn't have to download anything. It should just be there, ready to go. And as you can see, I have a little base going, got some steam going, and everything seems all well. In fact, it's still kind of boggy, a little laggy. It takes a little while to cache up. I go to my here and added the Feed the Beast utilities, so I can click, you know, claimed areas and add friends and lots of mods. You can see in NEI there's 73 pages of junk you can build. And I got me some steam. I'm just starting out, so why don't you come play with us? We'll have a good old time. Have a good afternoon.